Howdy y'all, welcome to the third video of this channel. Today we are going to be doing Am I the A-hole? So let's get right into it. Today's first story comes from Stable Pretend 9171. Am I the asshole for calling my neighbor a cunt after she reported my pet penguin to the HOA? Wait. That's legal to have a pet penguin? I'm gonna have to go down to my local zoo and buy one. My neighbor is in an HOA, unfortunately. However, this HOA was created 10 years ago, and about 40% of the neighborhood refused to join the HOA, including the previous house owner who sold the house to me. Nice. And thank God they didn't, because our HOA are a bunch of cunts and are just downright fuckers who spy and nitpick everything you do. I have a pet penguin. Some Brazilian guy had it where I lived and didn't want it anymore, so he gave it to me, and it is unfit to live in a zoo and can't be put back in the wild because it's never been around its own kind before. Ooh. I have a massive pond in my backyard where my turtles and carp and koi fish live. My fish are way too big for the penguin to eat, so don't worry about it. And where we have filtered water for him too, so he's really happy where he is now. I'm not friends with anyone on the HOA board because they're a bunch of cunts, so I never invite them to any barbecues or parties I host. Yeah, serves them right. There comes. Before you call me an asshole for that, the HOA board right now is trying to take away a woman's house because she has 4 months of fees overdue from the HOA board. They raised the fees by 25%, and she currently has heart issues, and all of her money is spent on surgeries for her heart. So yeah, fuck those people. There's a woman named Karen who actively roams the neighborhood and posts violations on Nextdoor, which is an app, and she often goes onto people's property to take photos. I, of course, am not friends with her or either the board. And she went over into my backyard and was taking photos of my pet penguin in my pond. I heard a bunch of noise and I walked over to see her chasing my penguin around, trying to grab him. I told her she had to leave in 30 seconds or I will forcibly remove her from my property. She left but posted all of it on the Nextdoor. And the HOA is now trying to find me. I don't know if they forgot or something, but I'm not part of their shitty HOA. So, the HOA does what the HOA does and comes knocking on my door. And, well, I told them, I'm not part of your HOA, fuck you and fuck off. I then slammed the door right in their face. The HOA is now trying to get me in trouble with the local authorities because they don't like my pond. These people have some problems. It's against their regulations to own a pond, and they're trying to make me get rid of it. They don't like the penguin or my turtles or koi. They keep trying to compromise with me over my fish and pond. And every time I yell at them to fuck off and go away. The last time they brought me some paperwork of them trying to argue that what I'm doing is not allowed and I should be considerate to the community. I knocked it straight out of their hands, and the HOA member and Karen are bitching about it on next door, and it started a massive dispute which is now dividing the entire neighborhood. Most of them are pissed at the HOA because my shit doesn't bother anyone in the neighborhood, and they're disregarding issues that actually need to be fixed, like broken sidewalks and other facilities that need maintenance. I'm having a barbecue, and Karen is saying, I'm bullying her because I'm not being invited. And since most of the neighborhood is coming, a couple of people are backing her up, and I said to them, she's a massive cunt for reporting me. Everyone's bullshit violations and trying to take away my pets so she can go fuck herself, that nasty cunt. OP here, in my opinion, is definitely not the asshole. The asshole, like always, is the HOA. I also have a buddy here with experience of an HOA. Can you confirm HOAs are cunts? Yes. That's our special guest for the day. Alright, on to the next story. Also, before I forget, our special guest name is Riley. He's no one really special, but he is a good friend of mine. Go check out his Instagram, which is...
Fuck, I don't know it.
Speak into the mic. This man's strawmanning. He's strawmanning. He's strawmanning. Don't worry. Check it out in the description. Alright. Now, officially, on to the next. The second story today comes from Grandparents' House. Very fitting for this story. Title of it is, Am I the a-hole for taking, in quotation marks, my grandparents' house? I am a 26-year-old female. My grandparents are both 68. My maternal grandparents moved from England to Brooklyn, New York in the 80s and were lucky enough to afford a 5-bedroom townhouse at the time, which they shared with my mom, my aunt, and my uncle. They were young parents, so there was an age gap between my mom and my siblings, so the majority of their early years in America, my grandparents just shared the house with my mom. Mom had me when she was 16, so we lived in that house until I was 10 when she got her own house. Her mom got her own house at the age of 26. That's nice. We still lived in Brooklyn, and luckily, due to what my mom studied in college, she got a well-paying career, and receiving an inheritance, she basically managed to buy the house outright. Fast forward to 2015. My mom suddenly died, and I inherited the house along with a substantial amount of money. My own family inheritance too, which my grandparents set up for me and my 4 cousins. Ooh. Rest in peace. The house was good enough size for me and my then boyfriend. We welcomed a daughter a few months later and later got married too. Nice. Last year, my husband and I decided to try again for a baby, and I got parrot. I got parrot. I'm going to keep that in because I said parrot. Pregnant quite quickly. We learnt we were having twins. Damn. And despite the house being a 3-bedroom, we agreed it was too small to raise 3 children in that house. Now, house prices in New York are insane. Yeah, can't argue. Anyway, but whether the sale of the house and using some of the money I received as inheritance, we were in a situation we could luckily either buy a 4-bedroom house outright, or at least put a large deposit down to bring down the mortgage costs. These people are very well off. That's nice to hear for once. Well, it turned out our grandparents were looking to downsize, and I don't know how it came up, but they suggested I could take their house and they could take mine, and I would just pay the difference in what their house is worth. Very nice people. It would be a couple of hundred or $1,000, but my husband and I had the money to do it. We had a lot of discussing and met with our lawyer and eventually came to an agreement. I'm currently 7 months pregnant and the sale was finalized. We've all started preparing to move and it's caused a lot of ill feeling in our family. All my cousins have barred me and my husband for taking advantage of our grandparents. My grandparents have said time and time again it was their idea to do it in the first place. My husband and I paid them for the property and that no one was taken advantage of. Edit. There's a small edit that has a little bit more information on the subject, so I'm going to read it off too. I should add, even if my grandparents kept the house, my aunt and uncle would have received it as an inheritance, so that's why they're angry. Alright. OP here, in my opinion, definitely not the asshole. Her family there is just downright jealous that they didn't get the house, but you did. So, yeah. Alright. Well, that's going to be all for me today, folks. Have a lovely day, night, or whatever time of day it is for you. And, yeah. Peace out.